Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to go through a live trade with you guys. I took this trade on Friday, December 22nd. I actually recorded myself live speaking to my Discord and also just speaking out the trade. I took the trade, so I'll go ahead and show you that recording first. I'll show you the recording of me entering, exiting the trade, what I was watching, and then you'll hear me also see me talking about my profit targets, why I took the trade, so on and so forth. After I play the recording for you guys, I will come back and kind of show you the nitty gritty, my profit targets in case you missed it in the recording, and what I was waiting for overall and why I took the trade for you guys, as well as you're not able to see ES futures and NASDAQ futures and BOOKMAP. So I'll kind of go through that as well and what I saw in those specific aspects before I took that trade and what confirmations that I looked for before I took that trade as well. In this specific play, I will say that I ended up entering too many contracts. So I ended up entering double the size that I wanted to enter. And you'll actually see my reaction to that as well because it was an accident. All that being said, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and let's go ahead and get started. Market is holding ES and NASDAQ, both holding these trend lines. To be honest, I really like the downside trend line break on both of these. If we do get it, I'm watching SPX below 47.65. Otherwise, to the upside, I wouldn't touch it unless SPX clears that 47.78 high. So that's where my upside alert will be at. But like I said, I really like this trend line break if we do end up getting it. Otherwise, I'm going to stay cash. Like we're going into the longer weekend. Next week, we'll have lower volume as well. Usually the day before we go into a long weekend, like I said, we don't see significant movement. SPX approaching this of 47.65. ES right here picking up some volume. I'm in SPX puts here. My targets are 47.60 and 47.55. We got a lot of selling pressure come in on ES. Both futures need to clear their VWAP levels next. SPX did pop up already about $1 or so. My stop will be a break back above 47.65. I don't see many buyers here on ES. We did have some at 48.11, or right at its VWAP level here. But below that, I don't see that many buyers. Sorry, not sellers. This is going to be a pretty quick scalp. I'm not looking for too much on the premium here. I did size up a little too much. I entered too many contracts. I didn't mean to enter that many contracts, to be honest. Premium is up about $1 here. First target is approaching. That's the 47.60 first target on this. ES is 48.08 is the VWAP level, which it needs to clear. I want to see how this next 5-minute and 2-minute candle comes in on both ES and SPX here. Premium is holding nicely, still about $1.50 up. Wow, wow, premium is moving, scale out. Oh shit. Wow, wow, 100, oh my goodness, oh my God. Premium is moving. I'm out 80% of mine. Stop on what I have left is going to be the 47.60. Premium moved almost to 100% off of that move. That was clean. Clean, clean, clean. Stop is going to be 47.60. I want to see ES hold below the 48.08 and its VWAP level for continuation. What a move. What a move. What a move. I accidentally bought 40 contracts. I meant to only buy 20, but I pressed the button twice, so I guess that paid off pretty well. This was a good move. I still have my runners here. Not a lot of the position left here. The runners are still up, so I'm holding on to them. All right, guys, so hopefully most of that video kind of made sense, or where my mindset was at. I tried to explain it while I was walking through it, but the play was so fast because it literally happened right when I was about to walk away from the market, because really there was not much going on. I missed the initial move up right at open, and then market was kind of just getting a little bit choppy, so we were just waiting for a move to happen. So I was about to walk away when I took that trade. So I think in the recording I didn't state exactly why I wanted to take the trade. I know you guys kind of heard my profit target, so I kind of want to go through really in depth why I took it and some confirmations that I also got from ES, NASDAQ, and BOOKMAP, and why I took the trade on that. So overall, I was watching SPX for this trend line break pretty much. So it had a trend line from where it gapped down. So it gapped up. So the gap level was 47.54 to around 47.47. It gapped up, and it was kind of a gap and go right at open. We got this really nice move up right at open that I ended up missing just because it was too close to open and there was no pullback in between. And the pullback that we did get, I ended up hesitating and not taking it. So this was a nice move at open. We pulled back here, retested 47.60. So this was a nice move if you ended up catching the play right at open. However, obviously I did not. And we ended up getting a trend line. Now, I ended up moving this trend line a couple times before it ended up actually breaking. Really, my initial trend line was placed right here. So when my initial trend line was set right here, the reason why I moved it is because ES Futures was holding its 9 EMA. So I really wanted to see ES break through the 9 EMA prior to me taking SPX puts. And as you guys can see, it was holding the 47.65. So I ended up adjusting my trend line to around here and waiting for the 47.65 break. That also gave ES time to break below its 9 EMA and make its move down towards its VWAP. Same thing with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ had a similar trend line here. You can see I ended up having that trend line, and we got the break right around the time that I ended up entering SPX at 10.55. Same thing with ES Futures. ES also had the same trend line here that the NASDAQ did, but ES ended up breaking that trend line a little bit earlier. So you can see that 1, 2, 3 touch here, we broke, we retested, and then it made the move down. So this rejection at 48.20, if you had taken the rejection of ES at 48.20 on SPX, that was a really good play too as well, because ES had broken and retested the trend line and it was rejecting the trend line. So like I said, I was watching SPX for the trend line break. You can see here that we ended up getting the EMA cross too, which is called a death cross. So this signifies usually a reversal to the downside. And we got the break of 47.65 when I ended up entering this play. You guys can see my targets were 47.60 and 47.55 where the gap was. I didn't make it at 47.54 because I had a previous level of support at 47.55 on SPX. And so that was my profit target to the downside. So I usually set 2 to 3 profit targets. My first one, I take 80%. My second one, I take another 10%. And then I have 10% left as runners. Sometimes I'll move that around depending on my sizing. Sometimes I'll take 70. Sometimes I'll take a little bit more or a little bit less, 90 and 10. That really depends on overall market sentiment. And because recently it's been a scalper's market where you have to be really quick with your plays in and out of certain positions from one profit target to the next profit target. You can't really hold runners as often in the current market conditions over the past couple of weeks. I usually set 2 profit targets, take 80 to 90 at my first one and take the rest at my second one or hold some runners. For this specific play, I ended up holding runners only because I had gotten a 100% move almost on the premium, or I think it was like 60-70% move on the premium. So I was comfortable holding my runners to break even because I had made a decent amount of profit on the play anyways. So as you guys saw in the video, I entered SPX puts at 10.56. I exited some at 11, and then I exited most of my position at 11.06 once it got close to that second profit target. Also, ES futures, I'll show you on BOOKMAP what it was approaching, which is why I exited most of my position at the 47.55. And then at 11.12, my stop on my runners was 47.60. I ended up exiting my runners at 11.12, and I was still profitable on the runners as well. Premium on entry I entered was around $5.90. That ended up going to around $10.50, and then my second exit I think was like around $9 or $9.50, and then I exited my runners at $7. So my runners were profitable too, and we made close to 100% on this play. So if you had entered one contract, I know sometimes when we post we made, you know, exuberant amounts of money or whatever the case may be with most traders. If you just take the premium, and for example, if you had gotten one contract on this play and that would have cost you around $590, that contract would have gone to $1,050 and you would have made around $500 off of one contract on this play over it was like a 4 or 5 minute play on this. So even though I sized up, even if you had gotten one contract, you still would have made a decent amount of money off of one contract on this play. So I also want to kind of show you guys ES futures. So as you guys can see, ES broke, like I said, retested the trend line, rejected the trend line, and really my target on ES was its VWAP and then 4,800 if it was able to clear that VWAP at 48.08. And if we go ahead and take a look at BOOKMAP, the reason why I didn't like the upside too much, all throughout the morning, if you had looked at ES futures, it had a significant wall of sellers sitting from 48.24 all the way to around 48.30. So the reason why I didn't take that initial move up is because I did see this wall on ES futures and I wasn't comfortable with the upside move until it cleared this wall. So as it approached this 48.20 level on ES, you can see we had some sellers as well. Wasn't able to clear the 48.20 level, and that's when we ended up getting the rejection on ES futures off of this play. So you can see that we had a strong move down here on ES, which is when I entered SPX puts, and as you guys can see, ES futures didn't really have many sellers on the way down. You can see here we didn't get a lot of selling pressure all the way until 4,800. Now if you go ahead and look at where 4,800 is sitting, now if we go ahead and look at the second screenshot, zoomed in a little bit on ES futures, this is around where I entered SPX. You can see it cleared these sellers here sitting at around 48.12 and 48.11, which is what I was waiting for. Once we ended up clearing that 48.11, ES futures did end up having a move down, and the next significant level where we saw buying pressure was at 4,800. So I had anticipated that around that 4,800 level, ES futures would start to get buyers stepping in, and you can see around 48.01 and 02, we ended up getting buyers stepping in, and that's when ES futures ended up holding its VWAP level as well, and we ended up bouncing. So the initial play off of this ES was this clear of these buyers here at 48.11. After it cleared that, the next significant level where ES futures had buyers was around 4,800. And that is why I ended up taking most of my profit at 48.55 on SPX as ES was approaching that 4,800 level on BOOKMAP as well, where I saw some buyers sitting. Now, for me personally, when I am in a position, I always like to sell into strength. That is the way that you optimize your premium, especially if you're scalping. So if you wait for the stock to actually hit that level or hit exactly to that level, you don't end up getting the best premium move. So I always tell people to sell into strength. So if you see the stock as it's pushing down into your level or as it's pushing up into your level, even if it's 1 or 2 points away, it's a good time to take profit, because as it's pushing up or down, the premium is also pushing up. So you're able to capitalize on that premium spike and end up getting filled out as people are trying to get filled in. So that's kind of the way I end up exiting my plays, and why I don't wait for it to exactly hit that level, because that you're just kind of hindering your trading, especially as a scalper, if you wait for it to hit exactly at that level, whether you're watching futures or whether you're watching any other ticker. On top of that, if you kind of look here, we had a double top. A lot of people took the double top play. So this is your 2 tops and this is your neckline. So you wait for the break of the neckline at 47.65, and you could have taken this position in this play as well as a double top instead of a trend line break. So it's all really how you as a trader are looking at the market. I may be looking at the market and seeing one thing, someone else may be looking at the market and seeing a different thing, but overall the play is the same. Double top versus a trend line. Whatever the case may be, and whichever strategy fits your mind as a trader is what you should implement. So some people took the double top. Like I said, I took the trend line. So it really just depends. Both together, even if you see a double top and you see a trend line break, put it together, and that's a high probability setup as well. So hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, comments about the play that I took or any plays like that, go ahead and comment them down below as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.